I will be teaching you 36 facts you may not have known about Lumber Tycoon 2 in the next 20 minutes. When items are stacked on top of each other or thrown in a pile, they create more lag than if you did not have the items stacked on top of each other. That is why it is best to store your items this way. Every year, 1 axe gets added per Christmas event. Every single year, it always comes in a present in this kind of figure and style, except for 1 year. 2023 was the first and is the only year that there were 2 axes that came out for the Christmas event. The second axe does not have a present form. It is the blue steel axe, and it is meant for chopping blue steel wood fast. It was added for the blue steel wood. The spicy turkey's texture, as of within the last couple of months, has been changed from something beautiful to whatever the hell this is. 2016 was the most matching Christmas event that Lumber Tycoon 2 has ever had, with the blue ball present, the sled present, and I don't have at this base the big gift. All 3 of these gifts, which also happen to take up half of the 6 gifts that were released in 2016, have both blue and white in the present. The big gift might be a little bit debatable. I definitely think that it is blue on the big gift. If it was gray, it would look more dull and look more like the wide gift of stone or the tall gift of stone. If you go up here towards this rock formation thing, there is a little dent in the rock. This is where the entrance of the Hunt First Edition event, where you could find the tall, demonic, ostrich-looking creature. This cave is now patched up, meaning you can no longer go inside. Is it still in there? That's for you guys to go into Lumber Tycoon 2 and try and glitch into the wall yourselves. Yes, it's the land store, and Fancy Furnishings are the 2 only stores out of 7 Lumber Tycoon 2 stores that have seating inside the store 24/7. Yes, it's the land store comes in second place with 6 seats, and Fancy Furnishings comes in first place with 7 seats. The rest of the stores are all unfortunately tied in last place with 0 seats in each store. Bob's Shack is the only store that has 5 window areas with no windows in there. Besides custom-made buildings on your base, the only other thing in Lumber Tycoon 2 that has window whole frame things without windows in them is, of course, the Valve's all-purpose hauler trucks. Believe it or not, Hoover's Special Ultimate Ferry is technically a vehicle, even though you yourself cannot drive it. That makes there a total of 5 vehicles in Lumber Tycoon 2. And another thing that brings is me getting that question wrong in Games for 2's episode 2 of his Lumber Tycoon 2 game show. The 1/4 wedge is the only slope that you can successfully drive a truck or any other vehicle up and down. I don't know about the snowmobile, I didn't do enough research. The Cherry Meadows is the only biome in Lumber Tycoon 2 that has the same exact song as the biome that's directly adjacent to it. The reason I say this is because I don't know if you guys consider the top of the volcano a different biome as the mountain. If the Tayega Peak is considered a different biome, then make that the Cherry Meadows is one of 2 biomes that do not have a different song to the biome that it's adjacent to. It is definitely very interesting when it comes to patterns of colors of presents that come out every year in Lumber Tycoon 2. If you don't count the Rusty Axe gift, which I do not because this is a Rusty Axe, not a candy cane type axe, then all 3, the book, the candy cane present, and the candy cane axe present, all have matching colors for the first and the second. The candy cane and the book presents have the same for the third of it, and then there's a 4th book present that's blue. So all first of these types of presents are red, all seconds of these type of presents are green, both of these thirds are yellow, and then there's just a fourth blue. Unfortunately, I can't see the same for the noob head presents and the ball presents, but it does look like there is some sort of pattern back here. For the third and the fourth, there is a green ball and at least a green wrapped noob head. We all know the truth behind that, or at least some of us. And the fourth ball present is purple, and then the purple wrapped noob head is the fourth noob head. The poorly wrapped gift from Bob, also known as the coal present, is by far the smallest present in all of Lumber Tycoon 2. Smallest Christmas event item, whatever. It has kept its title for a total of 8.5 years. It is very safe to say that the ostrich eye is the smallest Halloween event item in all of Lumber Tycoon 2. It has kept its title for about 7.5 years. It was a close one, but out of these two items, the smallest event item in Lumber Tycoon 2, and this is not counting unboxed or unwrapped or whatever, this is in its full form, in its first form, the smallest event item is the coal present. The coal present does take up most of the surface area of the ostrich eye, but there's still a lot to spare. But if you compare heights, the coal present is not that much taller than the ostrich eye, making the coal present the smallest event item in all of Lumber Tycoon 2. In fact, the smallest item. Well, technically not, because, you know, the unwrapped, unboxed, but final form event item is what I'm talking about. I am going to release an entirely second version of this 20-minute fact video, but I will only release the second version of this sometime after I hit 2,000 subscribers. But here's the catch. I will only release it after I hit 2,000 subscribers. So go subscribe to JB dragmotoxboss so you can see the second version of this video. The biggest Christmas event item, the biggest present, is very easy. The big gift, keeping its title for about 7.5 years. The biggest Thanksgiving item that was ever added into Lumber Tycoon 2 in its first form is the big turkey, added in 2022, keeping its title for only about 1.5 years. The biggest Halloween item is also very simple to figure out. It is the Void Box, added in 2022, also keeping its title for about 1.5 years. All of the other Halloween items, except for the Ostrich Eye, are all the exact same size as each other. So all of the other items, all the candy bags and pumpkins, are tied in second place. And then the Ostrich Eye is the smallest. And this is not counting paintings. I'm not counting damn paintings, okay? They're not even stock-up season items. Over the years, there have been many candy bags and many different types of candy bars in Lumber Tycoon 2. However, there are 2 candy bars that have been repeated, not including the rare pink candy bar. The first of which is the original TNT candy bar, which came from the purple bag of candy, released in October of 2020. The Jenny's Peanut Butter Trucks candy bar, which came from the blue bag of candy from October of 2022. These 2 items are the only 2 candy bars that have been repeated, not including the pink candy bar. They were repeated in the gold bag of candy, which released in October of 2023. The second version of the TNT candy is the cherry TNT flavor, and the second version of the Jenny's is the Tin Jenny's Peanut Butter Trucks. And also, another thing, 2 more things about the Jenny's. First thing about the Jenny's is that it is the only candy bar that has been repeated back to back, 1 year after the next. Literally, this one released in 2022 and this one released in 2023. And it is the only candy bar that has been overhyped by a landslide on the channel of JB dragmotoxboss, a fellow Lumber Tycoon 2 YouTuber. The pumpkin is 1 out of 4 different types of items in Lumber Tycoon 2 that gets a new version of itself released every single stock-up season. There have been 9 stock-up seasons, so that is why there are 9 pumpkins. Out of all 9 of these pumpkins, there is only one pumpkin that has one, or at least very close to looking like one consistent color all throughout the outside of the pumpkin, not including the stem. And that is the dark pumpkin, which came out in October of 2016. The ostrich eye added in October of 2016. The many axe added in the 2018 Beesmas event. The candy corn axe added in October of 2020. The void box added in October of 2022. And the cornucopia added in November of 2023, all have one thing in common: the exact same wood design. Now, in technicality, these wood textures could all technically be different, but we're just going to call it the same because it pretty much looks the same. How the hell is it not the same? So I'm going under assumption all 5 of these items have the same exact wood texture in their first 4. The egg is the first, and as of now is the only Easter item that has been added to Lumber Tycoon 2. It was added on my 18th birthday, March 15th, 2024. It was added on that day for the Hunt! First edition, of course, which was a big event where you could do little things in games to get a big check on each of the games. For the Hunt First Edition for Lumber Tycoon 2, you would go into the cave that I mentioned earlier in this video. You would give the tall, demonic, ostrich-looking creature at least a unit's worth of wood. You would wait for it to crap out this egg. Then you would take the egg to Tom in Woods R Us, and then talk to Tom while it's on the counter, and then you would get the badge to the Hunt First Edition, of course. This badge is the easiest, if not one of the easiest badges for, and I'll say this really clearly here, anyone who is really good at Lumber Tycoon 2 and has a lot of stats, or anyone who just begun Lumber Tycoon 2 that very day. And as a bonus to this fact, I'll tell you this. No, I do not think that there will be another Easter item in Lumber Tycoon 2 unless there is a Easter Roblox event that Lumber Tycoon 2 happens to partake in. If you have a Lumber Tycoon 2 ball that has a significant set of numbers, like repeating numbers, or like is shown on this ball right here, even though it is a really high number like this one in the 100,000. And if you can get proof that a YouTuber had it, the more subscribers that YouTuber has, the more it could even sell for. You never know. This last part, I don't 100% know, but it is sort of a thing to keep in mind. So for example, if somebody got their hands on this 100,069 ball, and they show whoever they're selling to this very part of this very video and say, JB dragmotoxboss had this, maybe the value would go up by like 5%. And who knows, if I open up this present here on this very video and it's an actually good ball, maybe the value would go up by 7%. Let's see what we get here. Okay, nothing too special there. 124,088. That, there's more lime balls than orange balls now. What the hell? There is a total of 3 Lumber Tycoon 2 hashtags. A hashtag is a very own section of YouTube that whoever uses this hashtag on their videos will pop up in this hashtag. This hashtag is Roblox Lumber Tycoon 2. Now, technically, there is another hashtag called Lumber Tycoon, but I am personally not going to use it because I believe it should only be used for the actual game called Lumber Tycoon. I know there's a lot of people who literally call Lumber Tycoon 2 Lumber Tycoon. Literally, even though it's not that big of a deal, it pisses me off so much. And I can tell you, there's probably Lumber Tycoon 2 videos in the Lumber Tycoon hashtag section on YouTube. Going under assumption that Defaultio did this to make the game feel right, there is a certain pattern with trees. In the main biome, there is the oak tree, the cherry tree, and the elm tree. If you go up here into the mountains, you will see the oak tree has made it to this biome as well. And there's the birch tree too. If we venture here a little bit, you will see that the cherry meadow is right in front of us. A lot of people fail to understand that the cherry meadows is a separate biome, usually because they're never really told about it and they never think about it. But all three, cherry trees, elm trees, and oak trees that can spawn in this biome also spawn in the cherry meadows. What the hell just happened? I glitched under the map. I blueprint glitched under the map. And over there, you can see the elm tree and the cherry tree made it over to the safari. And I'm not going to go all the way over there. I'll just show a picture. But the birch tree made it over to the bluewood area over there. And I think that's it. No, maybe elm trees are over there. I don't know. I forget. Look at the picture. The elm tree is the one tree that is in the most biomes. It is in the main biome, the cherry meadows, the safari, and the biome that Link's Logix is in. Bonus fact, the pie axe works best on chopping cherry trees. This axe is meant to chop cherry trees. You may have seen in other Lumber Tycoon 2 YouTubers videos, but the pie axe chops faster on cherry trees and cherry wood, whatever, than any other axe in the game, making it the best axe. As seen here, it chops really fast, like that, boom. The spearmint axe is the absolute second to worst axe in all of Lumber Tycoon 2, and the worst axe in Lumber Tycoon 2 that can chop, because the candy cane axe cannot chop at all. After you get that one swinging, you have to wait 5 seconds. You have to wait 5 seconds in between each swing, making a 0.2 damage per second. And yes, the range is 1 unit. 1 unit. One of the best forms of lighting in all of Lumber Tycoon 2 is the work light. It is the best thing to buy when you're looking for quick and easy light. Not only is it only 80 lumber bucks, but it is also easy accessible, and it actually is pretty bright. The blue steel axe comes in first place for the most distance that it can fling you. I am literally I bounced down to the Taiga. I bounced up, bounced down to the Taiga, back down to I'm in the Taiga. That is really crazy. All three of these last axes I just mentioned are from 2023, by the way. If you decide to build a door bridge that will eventually reach all the way to where the ferry takes you, here are a couple of tips for what you need to do to put it in the best spot. First off, make sure that you're loaded in this slot across from the land store. Second off, put your door bridge in the corner anywhere in this general area. If you're putting a wall, then put the glass door. Well, it doesn't really matter. It's just up to preference. But the point is that get it in this general corner. Once it's in this general corner, then it will go the direction that goes all the way to where the ferry takes you, but it'll also take a pit stop all the way to the Palm Island. One of the Palm Islands, at least. Instead of having to do all the normal, hard, and difficult work in order to get yourself to the Strange Man, which you can purchase the blueprint power from for a little over 10 million lumber bucks, you can instead drive your truck above where that exact room is and glitch down into that area so that you can save a whole bunch of time. Doing this will bring you little to no change of perspective or other people's gameplay. So, in my opinion, if you really want to save some time, go ahead and do it. If you want to play the game normally and do all the work as default you intended to get the legendary reward, and you want it to be more rewarding in that aspect, then do that as well. It's not really harming anybody. It's not really changing anyone's gameplay experience. The Sawmax O2L is the second most expensive item that's in Lumber Tycoon 2 all year round. It is also the most expensive item in Woods R Us. People like to troll you by hovering a Sawmax O2 owl over the counter whenever you go and purchase something. So whenever you're buying at Woods R Us and you're in a private server with other people in there, or if you're in a public server, watch out. People can really screw up your money account with that. From the looks of it, I think somebody in the server might have pulled that trick on another person in the server before I stepped in the Woods R Us just now. And that is all 36 facts in 20 minutes. Subscribe to JB dragmotoxboss so you can see a second part to this video. Yes, 20 more minutes with as many facts that you may not have known about Lumber Tycoon 2 as I can fit in that 20 minutes. I will release that video after I hit 2,000 subscribers, so subscribe to JB dragmotoxboss.